The invitation was never meant to be taken seriously. When the billionaire casually told his assistant to join him at the most exclusive gala of the year, it was said with a half-smile, almost like a passing joke. What he didn't expect was that she would actually show up, and not just show up, but completely transform the room the moment she walked in. Place where status defined everything, one unexpected entrance was about to challenge every assumption he had ever made. All day, he had barely thought about it. Meetings, calls, decisions worth millions, his mind was elsewhere. To him, the gala was routine, another appearance, another night surrounded by people who measured worth in influence and image. His assistant, on the other hand, had taken those words differently. She had paused when he said it, unsure if he meant it, but something inside her decided to take the chance. For years, she had remained in the background, efficient, composed, invisible in the way assistants often are. But tonight felt different. It wasn't about proving anything to him. It was about stepping into a version of herself she had kept hidden for far too long. When she arrived, the energy shifted almost instantly. Conversations softened, eyes turned, and for a brief moment, the entire room seemed to pause. She carried herself with quiet confidence, her presence elegant yet effortless. It wasn't just the way she looked, it was the way she owned the space without demanding attention. Billionaire noticed the change before he even saw her. A subtle shift in the room's focus pulled his attention toward the entrance. And when he finally recognized her, he froze. The person he had seen every day, focused, professional, understated, was now standing before him in a completely different light. He approached slowly, almost unsure of what to say. For the first time, he found himself searching for words in a situation he usually controlled with ease. She greeted him politely, as she always did, but there was something different in her tone, something more assured, more self-possessed. He realized then that it wasn't just her appearance that had changed, it was the way she saw herself. And somehow, that shift made him see her differently too. The dynamic between them, once clearly defined, now felt uncertain, as if the lines had quietly blurred without either of them noticing. As the evening unfolded, the reactions of others became impossible to ignore. People who had once overlooked her now engaged with curiosity and respect. Conversations flowed naturally around her, not because she demanded attention, but because she carried herself with an authenticity that stood out in a room full of practiced personas. The billionaire watched from a distance at times, observing how effortlessly she navigated the environment. It unsettled him in a way he couldn't fully explain. He had always valued control, predictability, but tonight, neither seemed to apply. Meanwhile, she experienced the night in her own way. Each interaction reinforced something she had always known deep down, that her worth was never defined by her title or position. The opportunity to step outside her usual role allowed her to express a side of herself that had long been overshadowed by routine. With each passing moment, her confidence grew, not from validation, but from self-recognition. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was simply being herself, fully and unapologetically. At one point, their paths crossed again, this time in a quieter corner of the room. The conversation was different, less formal, more genuine. He asked questions he had never thought to ask before, and she answered with a calm honesty that caught him off guard. For the first time, he began to see beyond the role she played in his life. He saw her perspective, her ambitions, her strength, and with that realization came a sense of humility. He understood that he had underestimated someone who had been right in front of him all along. As the night drew to a close, the impact of her presence lingered. It wasn't about appearances or fleeting impressions, it was about the shift in perception that had taken place. The billionaire found himself reflecting on his own assumptions, questioning how easily he had placed people into categories without truly seeing them. She, on the other hand, left with a quiet sense of fulfillment. She hadn't sought recognition, yet she had gained something far more valuable, confidence in her own identity. In the days that followed, things didn't return to the way they were. There was a new understanding between them, unspoken but undeniable. He treated her differently, not out of obligation, but out of respect. And she carried herself with the same confidence she had discovered that night, no longer confined by the limitations she once accepted. Their interactions became more balanced, more human, less defined by hierarchy. What started as a casual remark had turned into a moment of transformation for both of them. He learned that true value isn't always visible at first glance, and she proved that sometimes, all it takes is one opportunity to reveal a strength that was always there. The gala became more than just an event, it became a turning point, a reminder that perception can change in an instant, and that the most unexpected moments often carry the greatest impact. And long after the lights dimmed and the guests went home, one thing remained clear: sometimes, the person you least expect to stand out is the one who leaves the most lasting impression.